everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to do a layout using the April stamp of the month called Sweet Tweets. So here's some little sneak peeks and we'll get started. So I'm going to use this stamp set. I'm going to use these cute little bird images, and I'm also going to use papers from Cosette. So these are leftovers from a workshop that I cut, and this pattern that I'm going to use is great for leftover strips of papers. So my pictures are from a volunteer project that a friend and I are doing this summer, and actually it starts now, and it's called the BlueBird Project. And our little town has little bird houses throughout the open spaces for bluebirds. Bluebirds, they use secondary spaces to build their nests, and so they need these boxes to be able to continue the bluebird population in our town. So actually all over. So a friend and I, the first step that we needed to do was to clean a few of the boxes and prep them for the season. So that's what these pictures are from, and we had a sighting, so that was great. And I got a few pictures. So the pattern that I'm going to use is from Hope and Kindness, and they're posted on our websites now. So I'll add a link in the description below, and it's a great pattern for strips and leftovers. Okay, so I have loaded 3 of these bird stamps into my MISTI, and I'm going to stamp them out in black ink on vanilla paper. The base color for Cosette is vanilla. So I'm going to stamp everything out on that color in black ink, and then I'll be coloring them in with tri-blend markers and then fussy cutting them. This set, of course, doesn't come with thin cuts, so they're pretty easy to fussy cut. Okay, so I'm going to stamp out a bunch of them, and then off camera, I will color them in and fussy cut them. So the stamp of the month you can get for $5 with any $50 purchase during the month of April. Okay, then I'm also going to stamp out some of these botanical images in the, this is the Cosette card making stamp and thin cut set. So there's some pretty bluebell flower images and then some greenery that I'm going to stamp out. There's lots to choose from in this set, but I just pulled 2, and I'm stamping them in black ink on vanilla. And I'll color these in with tri-blends and then cut them out with the coordinating dies. So this set also comes with this arch shape and an oval shape. So I've cut them out on the light side of honey butter, and I'll be using those on my layout as well. Okay, fast forward, I've got everything colored in and cut out, and we're ready to start prepping our cardstock bases. So these are 2 pieces of French vanilla, and I've cut them down to 11 and 3/4 square. And I'm going to do a little stenciling in toffee ink. So I have a blending brush and this stencil, and it kind of looks like a basket weave. I don't know, it's sort of a nest impression. I don't know. So I'm just gonna do some light stenciling on the upper left corner and the lower right corner, and I'm just doing a really light wash, and it's just kind of random. I'm not stenciling the whole rectangle piece. And then I'm going to bring in the right side. It's also cut down, and then I'm going to stencil the upper right corner and the lower left corner. And again, just kind of random and really light stenciling. I just want just a subtle little look to the background page. And then I'm going to bring in a sponge, and I'm going to lightly sponge around the edges of both of these pieces just to distress. I'm using toffee ink, and I'm just going to distress the edges and give some definition to them. Okay, so both pages are inked, and now I'm going to bring in some toffee shimmer brush, and you need to shake them up really well to get that shimmer all over, and then I'm squeezing some of it out on a block to get it going, just because I want lots of shimmery goodness And then I'm going to bring in my splat box and tap and splatter on these stenciled corners for both pages. Get lots of shimmer and splatters everywhere. Okay. All right, set those aside to dry. Now I have 2 pieces of toffee cardstock, and this one is cut at 3 by 10, and it's the light side of toffee, and I'm going to make banners out of both of them. Okay, so this is the first one, and I'm just dovetailing both sides, so just cut vertically in the center, and don't cut too deep, because the deeper you cut, the more angled your banner. So these are really shallow banners, and then just take each corner to meet that cut. So this other piece is 1 3/4 by 10 3/4, and I'm gonna dovetail each end on this one. So this is for the right page, the right side of the layout. Now we have 2 toffee banners. All right, so now I'm going to do some stamping. So this stamp set has this really cute border stamp, and it's little bird feet. And I'm going to stamp some borders along both of these banner pieces, also in toffee. And this one's pretty easy to stamp because they're sort of randomly placed, and so you don't have to worry too much about getting it that straight. So it's pretty easy to stamp down on both sides. So cute. This stamp set has some great sentiments for cards too. But as soon as I saw it, we were out doing the BlueBird Project, and I knew I wanted to scrapbook pictures from that, and this stamp set is perfect. Okay. All right, now we have our banner stamped, and I'm going to ink around the edges. So this time I'm just going to use a sponge dauber because it's a little bit easier with a smaller piece. And I'm just sponging around the edges and distressing both of these toffee pieces. Okay, so now the Cosette card making stamp set has this arch shape die, and my stamps are from the Hello Darlin scrapbooking stamp set. So the stamps are set up to stamp out Home Sweet Home, but I'm going to mask off the S in the word sweet, and I'm just going to stamp out the rest of the word in pine ink on, this is the light side of honey butter. And then I'm going to remove the mask, and I'm just going to ink up the T at the end of the word sweet, and I'm going to put that at the front to create the word tweet. And then I'll stamp the word home twice for my title, and it's going to read Home Tweet Home. Perfect. So the BlueBird Project will be, my friend and I will be doing this all summer, and we basically just monitor these nest homes that we're cleaning out in these pictures, but throughout the summer we'll be checking on them once a week and taking pictures, and hopefully I'll have more pictures to share with you for more layouts of the bluebirds creating their nests and laying eggs and baby bluebirds. Let's hope. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in some pine cardstock, and that's going to be my base. And then I'm going to lay down these 2 pieces of French vanilla that I have stenciled. And I'm using some scratch paper just because sometimes the shimmer comes off. So I just wanted to, when I flip it over, so that's why that's there. So I'm just going to adhere them to that pine base. And then I'm going to bring in my pictures and a mat and all of my different components for my layout. So I have cut a whole bunch of strips of this Cosette patterned paper in 1" and 1/2" strips, 1" by 10, to create this block background. And all of the cut dimensions are part of that Hope and Kindness cut file. So again, I'll make sure to put that in a link to that in the description below. If you go to the More tab on my online store, you'll be able to find cut files all the way back to 2020 for lots of different workshops. So this is one of those. And all the dimensions are part of that. So I've altered it in that I am not tearing the tops and bottoms of these strips, and I've just cut them at 10 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere them down. So the left side and the right side are identical as far as the strips go. So I'll just kind of show the beginning of adhering the strips down, and then I'll do the rest of the work off camera. So I'm starting about 3 inches in from the left side and 1 inch from the bottom. So it's basically centered on that piece of French vanilla. So go ahead and set that one down, and then basically you're just gluing strips down together to create a block. So this is a good way to use lots of different patterns for your background, and a good way to use those leftover strips. You always have those 1 inch, 1/2" strips of paper left over after you cut up a workshop, so you can get the most from all of your paper collection. Just adhering these, pretty basic. We'll just get them all down and then we'll skip ahead. So I'm going to do the right side off camera. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in that banner. And I have cut a mat on the light side of mulberry. And this one is 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I've altered the pattern a little bit. I'm going to put this banner piece, I'm just going to set it right down in the middle. Now, if you have Make It From Your Heart Volume 5, this is also pattern number 2. So I'm kind of doing a combination of both, the Hope and Kindness workshop and pattern number 2. Okay, so I'm just going to set that banner down pretty much right in the middle of the page. Just eyeballing it kind of and using the measurements on my first mat. And then I'm going to set up the mat. So I've created a mat for the right side as well, and I'll just show the assembly of this one, and then it's the same process for the right side. So I'm going to put my pictures down. I just happened to catch this picture of Mama and Papa. They were near one of the boxes we were cleaning out, and that's Mama in flight. Turned out to be a pretty cool picture. So the camera on my phone isn't great, but I lucked out with this one. And then I printed off some of the photos and literature from the website to use as well. Okay, so I'm going to pop this photo mat with some foam tape, and then we'll put that whole mat down. And then my title's going to go in that upper left corner of the mat. And part of it hangs over the top, so I'm going to add some foam tape just to the top portion so it's all on the same level. Okay, so that's the basic layout, and now the fun part. We can start adding our little birds and greenery. So I have these ovals also from the Cosette card making collection, and I'm going to go ahead and distress the edges with toffee ink of all of the ovals as well. And then we'll set those down to create kind of a embellishment cluster with greenery and some of the birds. Okay, so that's roughly the way the left side will work. And now we'll start working on the right. So I've got all my strips of paper laid down. And then this banner piece is going to go towards the bottom. And then I have two of these ovals as well. So I'm just kind of laying things out, and then off camera I'll adhere everything. So this is going to be the basic layout of the right side. So we'll have our visual triangle when the two pages are put together. Okay, so we'll skip ahead in a sec. All right, I have all that adhered. And then I decided that the birds needed to be standing on a branch. So I'm going to stamp those out. So this is also part of the April stamp of the month. You have this little branch image. So I'm stamping them on these oval pieces in toffee ink, and then I'll color in the little leaves with a tri-blend marker. Okay, that's better. And we'll have our little bird standing right there on the branch. Okay, so we'll get those adhered. On both sides. And then we'll skip ahead in a second. They're so cute. These birds are fun to color in. You've got your base color, and then there's flowers in the image. Okay, so now I'm going to add some of these, this greenery that's from the Cosette card making stamp and thin cut set. And so we'll scatter some of those around as well. So you can get this stamp of the month, Sweet Tweets, for $5 with any $50 purchase, only during the month of April. And if you're a VIP, you can get it for free with a $50 purchase. So cute. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of these dots. These are the teal dots, and some of them they kind of look like Seabrook, which is one of the colors in the Cosette collection. And I'm going to scatter some of those around. And then off camera, I've done my journaling on toffee, and I've done strip journaling. I like adding strip journaling because I don't write in a straight line usually, so it helps me. And this way, if you make any mistakes, you're able to fix it and have it ready to go before you adhere it to your layout. Okay, and there's my finished layout. So I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. You can do some shopping. Again, the stamp set's only available during the month of April. And April is also the month for Cardstock Carnival. So all of the Close to My Heart cardstock colors will be on sale at some great prices. So if you are in the market for refills on your cardstock, now's the time. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I'm publishing one layout a week and one card video a week. Thanks for watching.